and welcome to another episode of Talk This. It's dangerous to podcast alone. I'm one of your hosts, Madelyn, introducing, as usual, one of our side quest episodes here at Talk This. So we're going to be talking about 10 topics for 1 minute each, 5 minutes per person, if I can remember how this works. So we're going to jump right in.
So if you follow us on Twitter or Instagram or listen to our last episode, you know that I'm playing Persona 5 and really cannot stop playing Persona 5. And beyond the fact that just fun, one of the addicting things is just how easily quantifiable your character's life is, right? You rank up on 5 core attributes by doing simple little things like studying or watching a DVD or something like that. So I just can get more charming by going to the bathhouse, which is what I'm currently working on. And it's makes it such a time waster because you're oh yeah, I just have to get a few more points in this and then I can stop. But it's particularly effective on me, this thing, because I use sort of apps like that in my real life to make my real life sort of more easily quantifiable. Habitica, for instance, you have a cute little avatar you level up by doing good things, like getting your to-do list done, and that also sucks in my time. So bye, time.
So it's Easter, and so I feel like I would be amiss if I didn't give people a rundown of just a bunch of sort of Bible-based video games here on Easter Sunday. So here are some great titles. I don't know what these games are about, but I think it'll be fun. Bible Scramble Games, Church Growth Game, The Exodus Game, Manna from Heaven, Red Sea Crossing, Computer Bible Game, King of Kings, The Early Years, Bible Adventures, Bible Buffet, Super 3D Noah's Ark, Sunday Funday, Saints of Virtue, Bible Touchdown, Naka, Dance Praise, Left Behind, Eternal Forces, Dance Praise Party, Guitar Praise, Adam's Venture, Jesus Christ RPG, Baby Jesus Christ RPG, Kids Bible Quiz, Reborn Crosswords, Noah's Bunny Problem. I have no idea where I am on time. Oh man. See, I was reading those off Wikipedia and I don't have a clock. This is really great segment.
So Microsoft has been sort of going on about their new Project Scorpio lately, which is supposed to sort of be similar to the PlayStation 4 Pro. And I just have to say, I'm not sure I totally get it. I mean, maybe I just don't have the hardware to appreciate what the visual changes are. I just don't see a huge difference when I look at it. But that just, again, might be the fact that just my TV doesn't do it or my computer doesn't do it. But again, stuff a lot of people get all fixated on frame rates and all this stuff, all this technical stuff. And that's something that I can never sort of wrap my head around. As long as the game isn't actually freezing up on me, I don't know what a frame rate drop actually looks like. So if anyone wants to explain it to me, why frame rates are important, please hit us up. I am very curious because it's not my thing.
So it was just announced this week that they're going to be releasing a version of the original Tamagotchi sort of virtual pets, only smaller. Now, my experience with Tamagotchi has mostly been through video games based on sort of the original, weird little pet keychain things. But I've been sort of wondering, do those original keychains count as video games? They feel sort of more like they fall into the electronic toy category, but if you compare them against later games like maybe Monster Rancher or Nintendogs, where you're taking care of kind of a creature and raising it, they seem kind of similar in form, except of course, they're not on a video game system. I don't know, it makes me think about where the line is between a kind of computerized toy game and a video game. What's the definition of a video game? Where does that sort of demarcation lie? I don't know. Deep thoughts here on whatever night I'm recording this, but I don't know.
So this isn't a video game, but how many of you out there are currently playing the Monopoly at Safeway thing and trying to win $1 million by shopping for groceries? Well, here's a news flash for you. It's not going to happen. We're doing it right now. It's all set up on our dining room table. It's honestly so demoralizing at this point where you get 50 of these cards because our dog walker would bring us some, and there's just not a single winner in any of them. You know, it's so depressing. But if you, like, look for the stats online for how likely it is that you'll actually find one of these rare cards, it's like 18 million to, like, 62. Like, it's not gonna happen. And yet you can't help playing. Like, it's a really good marketing campaign on Safeway's part, because we would just normally go to Giant, but, you know, they got the Monopoly cards at Safeway, and we gotta win 1,000,000 so that we all can retire. I don't know.
Fun fact, as you know, both of us sisters run our Instagram account at Talk This Podcast, which you should check out, and every day we have a daily trivia question. Well, most of the time Emma posts the trivia, but I'm consistently in charge of the Tuesday ones because Emma's at work. And so this week, for our listeners here at the podcast, I'm going to give you a super sneak preview of what I'll be posting for our trivia this week, so you'll be able to get the answer right and look smart for all of our followers. So the question that I'm going to be asking is, which episode of television based on a video game, was it based on a video game or the TV show come first? Whatever. Based on a video game caused mass seizures across Japan when it was aired. Alright, here's your answer. There's actually an episode of Pokemon, which I won't reveal the actual title of now. That'll be the answer in the trivia. But it's about Porygon, and they used a certain really flashing strobe effect at one point that literally sent hundreds of people to the hospital.
So I've been having more and more difficulty sticking to a reasonable game budget this year, just because there's so many good games coming out that it's honestly a relief every time one comes out and it's like, it's okay, or like, it's not awful, like Mass Effect Andromeda, I was like, yes, thank goodness it's not stellar, I don't have to buy it. But, I mean, games are expensive, right? And for the amount of time that they give you things to do, you know, like, it's not an unreasonable price. If a book that takes you, like, you know, six hours to read is about $20, then a game that gives you about 40 hours of content or more, $60 isn't so much to ask. But then if there's a lot of them, and then if you want to fit them all into your time, but also you just want them, you know, there's that sort of like, I just want them now so I can try them out while they're new and I don't want to wait for them. But I think I just gotta get more patient about it. That's my strategy.
Now, as anyone who knows me knows, I spend probably an unhealthy amount of time on Buzzfeed. So right now, I'm going to take live for you the quiz, how would you die in a video game? Ready? Okay. Pick a role. Healer, knight, tank, NPC, wizard, thief. Definitely thief. Pick an item. Mushroom, antidote, companion cube, rupee, sword, rings. I like sword. Definitely sword. Looks like Cloud's sword. Pick a monster. Orc, vampire, ghost, beast, robot, pocket monsters. Haha. Pokemon, definitely. What am I wearing? Just underwear, a hat, sweatpants, dress, thigh boots. What the heck? Is this my character? Is this me? Sweatpants. Here we go. I got glitches, man. You've suffered the worst fate. A glitch in the system has done you in. Maybe the jump animation spazzed out. Oh, wow. This picture of me being glitched out is really quite something, folks. There you go. There's your answer. I would die in a glitch.
Now, in video games, I love sort of items that increase your stats or your abilities as much as the next girl, but you gotta admit, there's something a little sketchy about it. I've always loved, like, in The Last of Us, for instance, you literally just collect pills and, like, weird plants from the ground and from, like, medicine cabinets in people's houses, and apparently have enough of them, and they'll increase your listening distance. It's just, like, apparently if you just chug Flintstone's vitamins, like, you'll have a less shaky aim, or whatever. It's like, it doesn't make any sense, and it's just, like, a funny picture to imagine this guy, like, just tipping the pill bottle back and swallowing them all. And in other games, you find, like, you know, like, herbs that, like, increase your health by 10. It's like, this seems sketchy, but I guess I am more of a traditionalist in terms of medicine as opposed to an herbalist or something like that. So it just seems funny to me instead of, you know.
So I'm going to throw it back to my experience with video game addiction. That's right, folks. Do you remember that time that Facebook Messenger had that basketball game? You know, where you literally just shot a virtual basketball into a hoop? Well, I was addicted to that game. I would play against friends. I needed to have the highest score. You're getting a little insight into my competitive nature. But why is it that the simplest games are the ones that we can't stop playing, the ones that we can't put down? I'm sure, I mean, I don't have numbers on this, but I'm sure that Americans spend the most time playing, like, dumb games on their phones. And that basketball game is just the perfect example of something that's, like, you could develop a little bit of skill very quickly. To get a really high score, you have to get lucky. But, like, every time you just want to, you're just like, one more time, one more time, one more time. These, like, 30-second games, they're so addictive. You literally can't put them down. You waste hours.
Hey, it's Emma this time. As always, thank you so much for listening to our latest side quest. We will have a new episode for you next week. But until then, make sure to check us out on all of our social media. It's all at Talk This Podcast. And check out our website, talkthispodcast.com. I wrote a blog post on Persona 5 because, God, can I not get away from it. Madelyn does show notes. She's going to catch up on them real soon, we promise. And, we got fun content on all of our social media pages. And, yeah, thank you for listening. And as always, from here at Talk This, have a great day.